Yeah, welcome to tonight's Plumes of Hazard. My name is MassBlast09, and this is my co-host. The actual Vape Brunch. This is sponsor vibes. We will be doing a short show tonight. We had some issues come up, and we got to take care of them. So we'll be having a short one tonight. So Slasher Farts and Fu will be here as soon as he can find his keys. But let's not waste any time, and let's get right into. Saw Mooch posted today. His 6 charger test report is now available, and we've got a link coming up for that right now. And can you put a chat link up there for me? TLDR, all the charges suck. Not really.
I was gonna say, did you see the same thing?
Yeah. So the chargers that he tested were the EFES Luck V4 and the V6. He tested the MyBoxer C14-12, the Nightcore D4 Digi charger, and the new i4 Intelli charger, and the X-Star Dragon VP4 Plus.
Sorry,
you got some feedback. Yeah, no worries.
I was trying to open another browser to get the link for you.
The link, yeah. So what are some of the biggest things? I mean, well, let's lay out the groundwork here. So Mooch says these chargers are not, these tests are not full of graphs and tons of photos, just a few, and only the lithium-ion battery features are tested. Okay, so these chargers have a bunch of other tests. He specifically was testing these. He says the accuracy is certainly checked, but so is the unit-to-unit consistency, internal operating temperatures, which affects reliability, the durability, the build quality, and the assembly consistency. He also checked for obvious design and assembly safety issues that might be visible internally, meaning he's taken all these things apart, make sure things are soldered properly, make sure that it isn't some shit job in there, full of solder, paste and hot glue. And he also said any safety issues will be posted about immediately. This doesn't mean that a charger without issues is safe. All electronics can fail in any time. So with that being said, Anxie, if you want to drop the link into chat. And so, of course, when you go through this and read it, if you checked it out already, pretty much all of the chargers have issues. And he did some tests that I was glad to see, like, for example, the snap test of the charger, because, after a while, and he did that 100 times per each, battery compartment. Yeah. Which is important because I don't know about you, but like my Nightcore, I pop battery out of there, nothing goes bing every time. Okay, so that's something you don't really want breaking while a battery's sitting in there charging. To kind of condense everything, one of the things that Mooch said, some were great at charging. In his personal opinion, it is likely that there will be compromises made to sell some chargers at their current price points. It's tough to make a really great performing unit, meaning all their features, for prices this low that these chargers are going for. He says he's sure that there's some decent ones out there, though. The key, he said, in his opinion, is to find the ones with features you want.
Yeah.
And with issues you don't care about, okay? Because when you do that, you basically you're basically getting exactly what you need. So,
I don't remember actually on that link. Did he? I don't think he tested the X-Star, any of the X-Stars.
No, not on.
He did the Dragon, expensive Dragon one. Yeah,
the Dragon V4. Yeah. So
which didn't do well, and none of them did well, like you said a minute ago.
Correct. Yeah. So some people are asking, can you recommend some at a higher price point? I don't mind paying for peace of mind and stuff like that. And he hasn't commented on that. Some people commented and said, hey, I've been using the i4 IntelliCharger for over 3 years, using it to charge a set of 2 or 3 sets 18650. Hasn't failed me yet. Compared to some of the other chargers, the grip the device has on the batteries may seem loose. I prefer it this way because I won't let the positive connection, it won't dent the positive connection. But, you know, a lot of that stuff is still very important. You want something that's going to be holding those batteries and they're really good, you know.
Good positive connection. That means there's no arcing.
Yeah. Well, and this guy who posted this comment, he's like, oh, another tip is to stand the charger upright or have it lean against something with minimal contact to said object due to the fact that, stated in the post, it can get pretty hot. No, the fucking device should not be getting hot enough where you have to stand it up.
I mean, what he said, it makes sense, right? You do want, you know, good circulation and stuff around it. You don't want to be piling your oily rags on top of your charger and stuff. But at the same time, you shouldn't have to stand on end.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I had my first real non-shitty, without a fire in the name charger that I got in 2013 or something was an i4.
Yeah.
And it was a good charger for like a year or two, but the problem is it started charging a little funky. Like my amps dropped off when it shouldn't have.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that had to do with the connection, and a lot of that had to do with the fact that I had traveled with it several times.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it just got a little damaged. So I replaced it with a VC4, my first VC4. And that did really well for a while until I noticed the same thing. The amp started going down. And that started to happen with this one too. It's been I've got about 2 years out of them. It seems like, the VC4s, and it does. It seems every now and then, for whatever reason, I drop in 2 batteries on the outside, 1 and 4, which it should be able to do at an amp.
Yeah,
and it scales it back to like 0.7 or something. I don't know what causes that.
Yeah,
but I don't like it.
One of the things that someone said was, oh, hey, a note on the night core you might want to add is the metal cell holder thingies do bend after prolonged use. I've used my charger a lot. I have a shit ton of batteries. I have flashlights that have 18650s in it, so it's not only vape devices. I have actual motherboards that use 18650 cells as backups because that's where the original sleds came from. So I'm constantly charging batteries. I've never had an issue with those things bending.
Bending? Yeah, I've never had a problem with bending.
Yeah. So, but anyways, so there you go. I mean, there's the link to it, and he is he says that the next reports, the next batch of 4 chargers that he's doing are probably going to go public in about 6 weeks. He doesn't have any favorites or charger recommendations he can make right now. He said check all the test reports and see which charger he has, features you want, whatever. So, but one of the things that I wanted to do you have his Patreon link?
Al said my X-Star Dragon broke after 2.5 years. That's not a bad run, but he said posts that hold the springs broke, all 4 of them broke in 2 days.
Yeah, well,
it's just like boom.
Right. So that's the other thing I was going to say is for the price that these chargers are at, you use them for 3, I would say you get 1.5 to 2 years use out of them. That's pretty fucking good.
These scores down like $18 or something. It's cheap as hell.
Yes.
There's no reason to keep that thing around if it's acting weird on you.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, if you can find his Patreon link, I'd like to put it up there because the post was made on Reddit. He also has a post linked to the e-cigarette forum where he has most of the stuff put up. But what really helps him is if you throw him a few bucks for a donation for his Patreon or his PayPal link. And some people don't want to do the whole Patreon thing, and I get it, but doing these things is something that no one is going to take the time or have the money to bring in all of these and do something or expertise and do something really unbiased. So like I said, kudos to him for doing that.
Agreed. And his Patreon, by the way, is patreon.com/batterymooch. I did put the link in chat.
There you go.
I'm in Plumes Hazard again. I don't give a shit tonight.
Welcome, Foo. Here's the other co-host we were talking about.
Hey,
Hi. I was getting a drink,
Who's back?
an adult beverage.
You were getting another White Claw? Oh, yeah, there it is.
No, last week was Truly. Today we got White Claw because there is no law when you've got the claw. Apparently, that's the saying of the drink.
That must be.
I learned that yesterday. One of my friends is like, "Oh, apparently that's what the college kids say." I'm like, "Oh, this is mangoes. I haven't tried this before. It's pretty good."
I guess that must be the monkey in the room.
Yep.
Welcome. Now we were just talking about Battery Mooch's post about the chargers that he did.
Oh yeah, I was reading that on the pooper this morning.
Huh?
I was reading that on the pooper this morning. Was it this morning or afternoon? I know it was on the pooper when I was reading.
No, it was this morning. I actually, I must have caught it right at the perfect time because I saw it pop up and I was the first comment on the thread. And I was like, woohoo! And so then I posted in Plumes and I hadn't posted in forever. And he sent me a message. He was like, oh man, thanks for, sending that out. And I was like, yeah, man, you doing God's work. I almost posted that on there and I was like, nah, I got so many people that get a little offended. They might be like, he doesn't look like God. He's the devil. battery manufacturers hate him.
God doesn't bend his hat like that. That's not okay.
Damn right. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So the thing that I took away from it is, and you hit on it a minute ago, is the fact that apparently no battery chargers are good. They're all bad. Just buy the one that has the features you want and be careful with it. Oh man, it's just too bad. I hope he does the VC4 because I hope it does okay. The reason is because that's still one of the, I think, 2 on the market that do show you the milliamp hours that are going back in each cell. I think isn't an Otis. There's one other brand that I've been told that does that. That's still something that I find very useful personally. And it's still one I don't understand why it's not on more batteries because it makes so much sense to me. But hey, that's me. So I am curious, Fu, what are you vaping on?
Sorry, the ups just delivered. I'm like, damn, dude, you late.
Nothing new. I ordered some more Snowdrift and it came. My first time getting it in a grill bottle. Yeah, it's weird because I hate chubby gorilla bottles. But yeah, 250C, Narta, dude. This thing, I cleaned this thing out today.
Not good.
Honestly, I think it's the most it might be the most gross I've let an Addy get in a while. Nothing's gonna compare to my Origin that had Foos Gold sitting in it for a year. Like, dude, the cotton degraded to the point where I couldn't pull it out of the coil. It was just piecing apart. Like that's you got to change your cotton when it loses its integrity.
Degrading before your very eyes.
Yeah, it was just Snowdrift stains all over the deck, and then I pulled out the center pin. Dude, it was like pulling my dipstick out of my engine. That's what that was. When I pulled out the center pin, it was gooped up. It was bad. Bad. I took no pictures because it's too much shame. But yeah, what do you think? Oh, and I got chips. Spicy sweet chili Doritos. These have been my low-key crack for months now. I may or may not have had a bag the last 2 days already.
Nice.
So,
Rob says the Nightcore SC4 shows MAW and internal resistance. Really? I may need to see that. I don't remember that model name for Nightcore. I need to check that out. For me, this week has mostly been vaping on my Limelight Ram Gloom. And on top is still an REA. Still the Omen. The tip on top still Railcracker. Gets yours today at derailmentvape.co. And I don't have my build box anymore because I sent away my my Zeta or Zeta Beta. Zeta Beta. Sent that away. I will probably be having a replacement at some point. Not sure when that's going to show up actually. We'll see. Masty says that he keeps getting UPS deliveries. They won't stop. That's pretty. Yeah, he's not kidding. That's pretty late for 9:30 for you guys, right?
Yeah. The fuck. The latest I've ever gotten anything from UPS was like 8 o'clock, and that was before they changed their routes. But yeah, there was like a window between like 6 to 8 in my old neighborhood that now they just deliver during the day.
Yeah, I've had late ones come in from. Oh, mine just went blank. What's the
Yeah, sorry. The freaking, I'm watching them pull up, and I'm like, again? And most will ring the doorbell, which I have disabled the ringer inside.
Yeah.
But some knock, and a knock at this time is suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah, times 3.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. So Fu, you weren't here earlier when we were talking about this before we went live. I am currently in the state of packing the whole family up, and it's a beast. So I'm doing that right now, and that also means I'm going to be possibly unavailable for the show next Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. So I think
next Wednesday.
Sorry, I don't know why I said Sunday. It's Wednesday.
Monday. You said Monday, not Sunday.
You don't even want to take off next week.
Just stop it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do that.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, it's one of those.
I can get down with
that. So we did a short one today.
To be honest, I just wanted to drink tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like just drink and just get silly. Oh, for those wondering about the show title, I got a rug. That's why I give you good price rug. I got a good price rug. It's beautiful.
That's a rug.
Is it pre-sanded?
Pre-sanded?
Got that Persian sand in it.
No, dude, this rug was only $100. And
yeah.
honestly,
Well, so go ahead.
It was marked off from like $350. I got it from Wayfair, and they run sales all fucking times, dude. This shit is pretty. This is a really nice. It was nice really photos.
They are really nice. So here's something that I didn't know, and I will give credit where credit is due. My wife is amazing about finding these deals. All right, and so carpet, right? Well, look, after kids and 3 dogs and everything, the carpets, no matter how often you clean them, are going to, that's why we don't have carpet in the house anymore. It's all tile. Because that's what happens, and done construction and tile work for years. I know what lives underneath carpets because I've had to take them up. So we just have area rugs, and it's nice to have one around the bed so you don't, you're not bringing all that shit into, just hair or whatever's on the floor. And mind you, this is with a vacuum that runs every day, whatever. So one of the rugs in the living room got to the point where I was like, okay, I can freaking smell the dogs on it, whatever. So I took this, I would think it was a 9x12. It was a big rug. Took it outside in the driveway, can pressure washed it with soap, then then sprayed it with a odor, whatever. Scrubbed it with a stiff bristle brush, all that, and then rolled it up and squeegeed it off and rolled it up and hung it over the swing set to dry.
Yeah.
Next day, it was, here in Florida, it'll dry easily. You just left it overnight. Next day, put it down. Perfect. Didn't smell a thing. But damn, I find out that the fucker, you can buy another one for $80. I'm like $80, $90. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing?
Dude,
why did I just do 4 hours worth of work?
My pad was almost as expensive as the rug because this was marked off so fucking much.
Yeah. Yep.
So it was nice because there had been a rug from our old house that I was trying to pry from my sister because she kept it. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's the maroon. It's actually a Persian rug. It's fucking beautiful. It's burgundy. It's my color, but my sister doesn't want to let go of it. So and then I bought this. It's nice. So it's not going to help me get over the other one, but
yeah. So I guess a bit of good news that broke over the past week was the tax in, I believe it was in New Jersey, went down to, instead of being a 90%, I think went down to 10%. I'm trying to find the article.
Really? I didn't see
yes. So let me see. Where is it?
So it's just a regular screw job and not like a mega screw job now.
Yeah. So Uplifting News says New Jersey vape tax lowered to 10% from 10 cents per mil. So basically, it says signed this into law, and the legislation amended the approach to the taxation that was enacted in last July, which inadvertently created a devastating result by imposing a 10 cents per milliliter wholesale tax on the sale of bottles of liquid and pods used in vaping. The undue burden of the tax on vapor retailers caused the closure of at least 10% of the vape shops in New Jersey, the exodus of several large distributors out of the state, and the loss of hundreds of jobs since the bill passed last June. You know, this is kind of not neat, but good that they're going back and reporting on this.
Yeah.
Because this is what, cities don't realize that they're doing. Is it ain't just save the children. Now the children ain't gonna have a fucking house to go back to because their parents lost their fucking jobs.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
So
Patty's saying it's 10% instead of 10 cents a mil. That's a pragmatic tax. To be honest, that's workable.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks, right? It should just be sales tax, but if you're gonna have to tax that 10%,
in the real world, shit's gonna get taxed. It's a matter.
Yeah, well, I mean, and it says, the bill changes the tax to a 10% on point of sale tax on e-liquids, which is far less burdensome to vapors across the state.
Yeah.
So, good for them. It says the New Jersey legislation is the only one of its kind which works in conjunction with the support and guidance from the Vapor Technology Association, VTA. The NGVRC was able to reform a standing law within a year, which is pretty unheard of. Assemblyman John Berslemy said it was instrumental in crafting and passing the bill, and it's been a champion for these small business owners. So that's pretty cool.
It is cool.
So good for them to be, fighting a good fight. I mean, that's huge, man.
I give them a lot of shit, but you know what? They were smart because they were big proponents of pushing the gambling legalization. And guess what? Guess what happened this year? To give you an idea of how big gambling culture has been in Jersey for decades now, more bets were placed in Jersey this year, the first year of legalization, than were in Vegas.
Damn.
What the fuck?
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting what happens in San Fran, because that's a straight out ban. You're not bringing shit in, you're not selling anything, yet nothing. So, but anyways, so that's a bit of good news. So
that is good news. Brando's asking, do I not have my built box anymore? Yeah, I got that one. I got this one. I still have my built boxes. I just I don't have the Zeta anymore. I'm not testing the prototype of the Zeta anymore because I sent it to Aaron.
When's that coming out?
Soon. So Steven just posted about it just recently. I think it was just the other day, saying that it's going to drop here pretty quick. So if you're not a member of the Haku group, you should go join it.
Is the price public or not?
Mm-hmm. $95.
95?
Yeah, with all the little bits and customizing and all the little buttons and the fucking like airflow screws down the top. I mean, it's $95. I know how he got it that inexpensively, but I'm still impressed.
How do you join Haiku? You join the Facebook group, dude. Same as it's always been. Remember we told you that you had to join the Facebook group and then you just bought a Cruiser clone? Pepperidge Farms remembers.
Yeah, I'm relatively certain that it's open. I'll go double check.
So, while you're doing that, I saw a post by credit here, M. Onan Batterload. He said he posted and he said, "Have you ever seen a vape shop in a hospital?" Well, now you have, and here's the post. And he said, you'll have to go to the UK if you want to see it in person. So here is in multiple hospitals, eSig Wizard, the company, has opened their doors in the hospital.
So I believe John said, by the way, that is it's a shitty company.
Sure. But I mean, it's better than nothing.
Yes, it's true.
And it says, we're excited to be assisting both staff and patients to begin their smoke-free journey. And in addition to that, the hospital has pretty much banned smoking on property. So the Sandwell Hospital has this sign, basically says, smoking kills, so we've killed smoking on our site. And then down the bottom it says, vaping is allowed outside, away from the doorways. So.
Oh, this was in England. I was about to say Alabama's not this progressive.
No.
I was red, dude. I had a sibling couple joke ready, and God damn it, why couldn't it be Alabama?
But yeah, pretty cool stuff.
So the group is closed, but it's not secret, so you should be able to find it and join it. And also the post that I saw earlier yesterday, he's got it's Saturday the 20th of July is when the Zeta first list drops. So get in there by the 20th so that you can get on the list if you want to. And it is, I just confirmed, it is $95 plus shipping. So by the way, there was one other thing that I did not mention before because it's new. So a lot of the things that I was testing, some of the things that have been changed. One of which, by the way, is that the chimney, which is similar to the any other billet box addies, is the top part of the cardo, right? That goes into the billet box. This part now has he's got a cutout. He was able to cut some of the meat out of the middle of the chimney to further increase the capacity. Which I thought was a great idea. It was something that he heard from a bunch of people, including me, that it was a larger addy, and it would be cool to hit some more capacity. So he did, which is cool. FYI.
So there was an interesting scientific research done on I put the link in our side chat if somebody can put it in chat. Basically it said basically study is experienced vapors followed for a year, lowered their nic, but they raised the amount of e-liquid that they vaped. Bottom line, the nic intake stayed about the same. So not bad, but there's definitely something to it there where the results were, they say vapors reduce both their nicotine concentrations in e-liquid over 12 months from 13 milligram at baseline to 9, and then following up, but significantly increase their e-liquid consumption from 4.4 mils to 6.8 mils. No significant changes in saliva cocaine concentrations were observed. There was an increase in sub-ohming using an atomizer coil with the resistance under 1 ohm with increased power. And at 12 months in the use of fruit and flavored e-liquids. So basically, I think this following for a year maybe just caught the tail end of the nic salts coming through.
Yeah.
Because I think that I think if you're going to do a test like this, obviously, hopefully it was all just straight, 3, 6, and 12 milligram. But yeah, kind of interesting. So
it is, and that's been my experience personally, right? Is when I first started vaping, my first bottles were 24, and then it was almost immediately down to 18. Stayed 18 for a while, down to 12. Stayed at 12 for a little while, and then went to 6. Was 6 for like 2 or 3 years, and then now for like the last 2 or 3 years, I've been at 3. And yet, and this is something that Ahmed's found a little bit different because he's gone backwards and vaped fewer milliliters at a higher nick. I'm vaping more milliliters at a lower nick.
So that was the thing, because I remember the weekend. I remember the exact day I switched to 3 milligram, and it was during my first vape bash when I was working the Enjoy booth. It was my first event that I was working for the company, so I was like nervous as shit. And I was chain vaping 6 milligram lab rat on a 0.1, and I'm like, hey, my heart's fluttering a little bit. And so I went to Lab Rat's booth because he was a few booths down, and I'm like, I need 3 milligram. And then I stuck on that for like 2 years and change until I found my sister-in-law staying in my house with the kids, and my sister-in-law drove me up a wall. I was going through 20 mils of abolishment a day-ish in 3 milligram. And I'm going through a 120 in less than a week. This is not sustainable.
Let's start calling you motherhead.
I went back up to 6, and life's been great. Everything tastes better in 6. You know me, I've said that in previous.
I can't disagree with that. Everything does taste better with a little bit of nick, for sure.
I'm going through less juice than I was, so that's the nice part. I'm more set. Like my vape breaks are more productive. Like I can go get a handful of lungfuls of fucking 6 milligram Snowdrift, and I'm good. So,
yeah, I think too, and a lot of the comments are echoing this. I was just reading through some of the comments on the thread, but I think it really matters on device that you're using.
Yeah.
Like this guy said, I disagree. I quit a pack of cigarettes with 6 milligram nic per milliliter. I reduced to 0.25 milligram nic per week and always vape the same, around 700 puffs, 6 to 7 mil. I only increased e-juice usage when I got my Siren 2, around 20 mil, but puffs per day were still around 700. Because I was using 3 times more e-juice with my new tank, I reduced the nic per milliliter by a third. Now at 0.5 milligrams nic per milliliter, soon going to go 0.25 and then go down to 0. I always enjoyed smoking. For me, the addiction is more about the rituals and routine and having my mouth busy. I tried to quit smoking cigs on cold turkey and eat 2 meals, 6 cold turkey, and I eat 2 meals, 6 breads, and started cooking 3 more meals. My wife bought me the tobacco ASAP because it was cheaper. So, yeah, it's too, I mean, that's the problem. You go to pods, man, you're jumping that nic level back up.
Yeah, big time.
Well, I don't know. So my cousin is getting married at the end of the year in Pakistan. I'm buying a jewel before that. I ain't taking this shit with me. Why would I take anything nice with me overseas? Yep. I'm gonna have a jewel and be with family. I'm probably gonna smoke some cigarettes while I'm there too. To be honest.
Where is it?
Pakistan.
Oh, okay.
I don't have any issues. I can't get.
Don't have any issues with you bringing vapes in. I
could. It's just a matter of. It's the last thing I want to worry about when I'm there.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Is like,
it's not
don't they have issues with you
taking away or anything like that. It's about just maintaining it, having it with me out on the street, it being a potentially desirable item that a thug will want to steal off me in the market, like shit like that.
Yep.
People get a gun pointed in their face for a cell phone. Like there'll be a moped will roll up, person your passenger, put phone to your face, put gun to your face, phone. That's it. Like that could happen with my vape if you think it's fancy. You know what I mean?
Yep. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Right.
And that is going to do it for us tonight, homies. So,
yeah.
A short one turned into an almost regular time one. So,
Dude, I didn't even get through my drink. That's how short. I mean, I have like this much left, but
shit happens. Drink like a man and not like a white girl. You'll be good to go.
Try to get my salts in too, B.
Ooh.
Get it done.
All right.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much for coming out. I appreciate it. Thanks for dealing with our abbreviated show. It is entirely probable that we will not have a show next week.
Correct.
We're going to take a week off for the summer, and we'll be back shortly thereafter. Stay tuned to our Facebook group. We'll let you guys know if anything wonky happens. All right, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Peace
It's
out.
shitty hard, but okay.